Assassin's Creed Valhalla is crashing through our shields and onto PC in November. Here are 13 things I discovered in my axe-filled hands-on. Vikings, ravens, and lots of meat. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is on the way, and I spent 3 hours exploring the delights of East Anglia. As fans of the Brotherhood will know, 3 hours may as well be 3 seconds when it comes to exploring Ubi's open worlds. But I managed to experience just enough to get a feel for how it will play when we get the full game on November 17th. So, from drinking games, word-offs, and super stompy shield attacks, here are 13 things I discovered in Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Show me what lies ahead.
Let's kick this list off with Eivor's fresh new combat style. If you've played Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey, it's not too far removed from either of those, with fast-paced rolling and light and heavy attacks. Where it differs though is that our Viking hero can dual wield, holding an axe in one hand and a shield in the other, switching up as you see fit with two-handed axes and even swinging flails. There's also the added risk of your stamina running out, which makes it impossible to dodge. So it's vital to know when to be light on your feet and when to stand your ground. Don't worry, if you were particularly attached to Cassandra and Alexios's mega-powered Spartan kick, it turns out that Vikings have the same leg muscles and serious personal space issues. Eivor has what's known as the Kick of Terror, which happily boots Anglo-Saxons halfway across the map. Then you can trot over and hit them with a new stomp attack that quite often delivers a satisfying cutscene, a bit like this one. Abilities come from books of knowledge that you'll find guarded and hidden throughout the world. But helpfully, after using your Norse version of Eagle Vision, Odin's Sight, you can see them shimmering in gold through walls. Unlike Odyssey, you can only have 8 active abilities at once, but that feels like plenty to tackle the screeds of different enemy types, especially when you've got this axe throw in your arsenal. Yes, Valhalla is still tinkering with the open world RPG formula, and it's rejected the traditional levelling system. Instead, Eivor has what's known as power. Not unlike Destiny 2, you've got one big number that indicates just how hardy you are, and once you dive into the skills menu, you can see a complex galaxy with what are called nodes. Here, your focus is divided into 3 main types, each with an associated animal. You have the choice of upgrading the way of the bear, the wolf, or the raven, and each path has benefits to match how you want to play. And don't panic, you can still roll when you hit the ground to save verticality-induced death. You'll just have to level up another few skills first. It's probably a one-off. Not that I'm against an entire Viking longship made of cats, but one of the many world events, which is Ubi's new name for side quests, had me chasing after a furry friend and adding it to Eivor's raiding crew. So yes, you can sometimes talk to cats. I also played hide and seek with some children between the fire and the carnage of castle sieges. Origins and Odyssey had some brilliantly silly additional quests, and it feels like this might only be the tip of the iceberg when it comes to fun distractions from your, well, fun distractions. Question marks are gone from your compass bar, instead switched out for different colours of orbs. Follow them to a ruined tower, and you too might shoot through a trapdoor and down into a corridor where you accidentally cover yourself in tar, and then flames before uncovering a book of knowledge. From cats then to castles. Where Odyssey had massive beach battles to claim power, Valhalla has castle sieges where Eivor must batter through fortified gates and smash up everyone in sight. While it's a brilliant chance to practice your beheading skills, oh, sorry, were you using that? the addition of steering a battering ram while trying to defend yourself from flaming oil makes for some exhilarating action. Blowing up pots and annihilating guards in showers of flame is a brilliant new addition too. Oh, and this is very much a team effort. While it's not multiplayer, you're responsible for reviving team members should they fall. To be honest, I wasn't ready to find out what happened if I didn't do it. Up you get, pal. Over the years, Assassin's Creed has had a tug-of-war with the idea of regenerating health. And with Valhalla, we're back firmly on the side of herbal medicine. Gather raspberries, mushrooms and other fruit and herbs from across the world, and you'll build ration packs you can use in the heat of battle. Run out, and you'll need to keep an eye out for bushes to keep yourself topped up amidst all the murder. It's an added risk on top of your precious stamina bar, and you really don't want to get too hungry.
Thor lends me strength.
Anyone who has played Black Flag knows exactly what it's like to drink and assassinate. But given that Eivor's adventure takes place hundreds of years before Edward Kenway even took his first slug of rum, no one has learned anything. While celebrating the wedding of King Oswald, I took part in a QTE-powered drinking contest, complete with carefully timed slugs and a quick steer when it looked like Eivor was about to hit the floor. Going by these Vikings' predilection for alcohol, I'm guessing that this minigame won't be a one-off. Spoiler, it made the shooting contest afterwards seriously tricky.
You've been bested at last.
And horns aren't just for drinking mead from. While your menu also has the usual offerings like a torch and a whistle, you also have your own trusty horn to bring your longship to you. This is an essential mode of transport across watery England, and importantly means you don't need to keep track of where you left your ship all the time. One quick honk and it will be right where you need it. Just like the creeds that came before, you've got traditional songs and music to keep you entertained on your journey. Another slick addition is the fact that when you approach bridges, your crew automatically bring down the mast to help you slip underneath. If you thought you'd misheard earlier this year when it was announced that Valhalla would have its own Viking rap battles, you really didn't. Eivor enjoys a bit of flyting, which is basically a poem-off with a random NPC. Hear what your opponent has to say and you'll have the choice of different options to match their cadence and rhyme. Choose the right one and you'll earn their respect. And also some cash you'll have to inspect.
Well, what a surprise! Eivor of the Raven clan is a true talent. I'm shocked.
One of the big differences between Origins and Odyssey was the removal of all the different bow types. Where Bayek had a selection of deadly tools for different purposes, Cassandra and Alexios had a kind of one-bow-fits-all approach with a stack of special abilities tacked on. For Valhalla though, we've once again got a choice of styles, which means the first-person Predator bow is back in action for all those important explosive shots. Eivor still has plenty of arrow abilities too, but it's nice to know that we have the choice when it comes to such a silent but deadly device. It might seem small, but it's the little things that really matter sometimes, isn't it? You could always use the door, but Assassin's Creed Valhalla lets you smash through glass windows in a satisfying explosion of shards before hopping out and going along your merry way. And that's not the only smashable. Where previously you merely had to venture close to ore to pick it up, Eivor now has to smash into sparkling rocks with an axe to gain these spoils. From something small to something absolutely huge, vital and pivotal to the entire Assassin's Creed franchise. Given that the hidden blade is back after its Greek holiday, so is that lovely Assassinate button for the delightful ka-chunk of the this time fur-lined spring-loaded murder gauntlet. where in Origins and Odyssey only lower powered enemies could be assassinated in one hit, Valhalla sees the return of the one-button kill if you can find yourself the upper hand. There are exceptions to this rule, but I played through a castle siege that ended in a violent boss battle, which apparently, if I'd climbed in the back way and not slammed my way through every gate, would have let me take a major chunk of damage from my enemy with the hidden blade. Stealth, it appears, is a seriously valid option again, indicated, if nothing else, by the fact that when you dive into a stack of hay, you now stay there instead of instantly jumping out like Cassandra or Alexios. And hey, let's end on a high note. A seriously high note over England. Just like Origins and Odyssey, you can take to the sky with a trusty feathered friend. Instead of an eagle this time around, you have your raven Sunan as your eyes in the sky. But thankfully, they've learned some tricks from their predator pals. Spin your analog sticks and Sunan will happily barrel roll. Yes, and again. Lovely. Well done. You can absolutely have a treat when you eventually get down here. So that's 13 things I discovered while playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them as best I can. If one of them is, can I pat the dog? The answer is yes, of course, but anything else, do let me know. Drop us a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to Logitech G for more lists and previews just like this one. Oh, and hit the notification bell to make sure you never miss another video.